Wednesday, March 20th, 2019, 6:03 p.m. Going to read a legal notice. Public hearing will be held by Lakeville Board of Health at the Town Hall, 346 Bedford Street, on March 20th, 2019, at 6 p.m. for the proposed Lakeville Board of Health regulation pertaining to food establishments with drive-through. I'm going to make a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Second.
Yeah, they don't listen to Kevin, they just don't do it.
So you seconded.
Second.
You're supposed to second it.
Second is-
Second.
Yeah, that's all right.
All those in favor, aye.
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 Okay.
Okay, do you want to explain the?
Yeah, I guess explain briefly.
It says just, Kevin is going to read the motion.
I could just explain it briefly. We did notify two establishments that would be affected, Dunkin' Donuts and Mary Lou's. This regulation briefly is regarding to food establishments with drive-throughs. Purpose, real quick, whereas Lakeville Board of Health is responsible for inspecting food establishments within the town of Lakeville and must ensure compliance regarding trash and trash debris, concerns, violations, and complaints, Lakeville Board of Health is proposing these regulations. And it would be really brief. Each drive-through food establishment must supply at least one trash container, durable and stable, in the drive-through lane. The trash containers are to be changed daily or as needed so that they do not overflow and create a nuisance. Any trash or debris that is accumulated must be removed and disposed of properly. The drive-through food establishment is also responsible for accumulation of trash and debris on the grounds. That pretty much covers the regulation. It's pretty straightforward. The only thing I would ask, if the board voted, it said this regulation shall be in effect on, as I was thinking about it later, I think Mary Lou's already has the barrel there, but just to give them a little bit of time to go get the barrels.
Like
I don't know what the
30
board
days or
decided.
something,
Yeah, whatever the board decided, but I just don't think it's one day, you know, just so
Right.
they can have it, you know.
Okay.
And I don't think there's anybody here unless,
Yeah. There's nobody
Okay.
here for this. Basically, we're just
Anyone
making
here?
people have trash barrels in the drive-throughs again, so like the gas station, for example, on 18 doesn't get their trash barrels filled up when people, with coffee cups, when they, people get gas, so. They're required to have it in the unit when you take your coffee cup to throw it away, and outside they should have it too, so the trash is blowing around, it's everywhere. The snow melted, and there's trash everywhere. I'm not saying any names, any places, but there's trash everywhere, and it's just not acceptable, so.
And leaving coffee cups on the
On the speakers, I get pictures from 2 days ago. You wouldn't believe how much trash was around when the snow melted, because if people don't have a place to throw it away, after a while, even good people get pissed, because every pocket in their doors and everything in their truck is full of empty stuff, and they haven't gone back, and they just eventually will throw it outside. So I'll make a motion to adopt that regulation. Is there a number or name to it or anything? I'll make a motion to adopt the regulation for food establishment with drive-throughs,
As typed.
as typed.
second.
Put a date on
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
When
effective
it-
That'll start on, what?
today's the 20th,
So
so you wanna do it till
so
the end of
that'll-
this month and then
So
a
May
month from
1st,
May 1st? That
Yeah.
sounds,
to begin on May 1st.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
and a motion to close the hearing.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to close the hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now we can go to the-
Yeah, regular board of health meeting.
Wednesday, March 20th, 2019, 6:08 PM. Calling the Lakeville Board of Health meeting to order. First on the agenda, 7 Janine Street, meet with Zenith Consulting Engineers to discuss local variances and upgrade approvals for septic repair.
Good evening. For the record, Niall Zager from Zenith Consulting Engineers. Here's my proof of mailings to the butters. So, from as you can see, this is, I mean, it's almost a 20,000 square foot lot, but, and it would look like you'd have a lot of room, but unfortunately, we've got a wetland in the rear of the property, the well is in the front of the property, and we've got wells kinda diagonal from the from where the system is as well, so I'm kinda jammed in here, and to top that all off, we ended up getting a 51-minute per inch perk rate out there. The soil actually didn't look that bad, I think it was just a little wet. I think it was a little damp, so it was worse than what it should have been. But it is what it is. We did get a perk rate out of it. We got 51 minutes an inch. We designed it on 60. So you can see, as you can see, even with a 2-bedroom system, which is what it has. We obviously have a deed restriction. It's still a very large system. So right now we're affecting our existing locust well and 2 abutting wells. We're affecting where is it? Wolins and also the Donovans.
Is one of them number 5?
Yeah, the Donovan.
Yeah, they sent a letter.
To the left. So
They
we'll
did.
read, yes, so we'll read the letter when we get to that point.
Of course.
Just, they were unable to make it to the meeting, they had just called also.
So, before we get too deep, we always required 3 or more well variances to have advanced treatment, so this, I didn't see it on this, so I didn't know what was going on with that.
I looked at the reg in our local Board of Health reg, it's 3 or more affected abutters
Okay.
is the wording. It does not count their own well. And under Title V, it also says the same. When you look under advanced treatment, it says 3 abutters.
So I don't know if their intent was for 3 well. I know that the idea was 3 wells, but this is, and you're right, this is 3 wells. But we're only really affecting 2
The
abutters.
green's 100?
The green's 100, and as you can see, I could actually get away from one of the wells and get 100 feet away from the Donovan property. But what I was hoping to do was to keep it as far. Obviously, that would shift it almost right at the 50-foot mark of the Wolin property. So I don't think that's fair to them to stick it that close to theirs. And here we're only going to be about 90 feet away from the Donovan property. So,
Where was the old system?
the existing system is the tank is here and it goes out in this area here. So it is a little bit closer to theirs, and we are getting closer by about 10 feet or so. But again, because of the size of the system, there's not
Going
really.
longer, it wouldn't have mattered, you still would have been in their radius.
I'm sorry,
If
what
you
was
tried
that?
going longer, it wouldn't matter,
Yeah,
you'd still be, you'd be
close to
closer
this
instead of
one.
farther away.
That's correct.
They're in a triangle, you're
Yeah.
doomed.
That's the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're holding that 250 off the wetland.
So I'm holding the 100 off the
100,
wetlands.
alright.
That, yep, so I'm actually asking, one of the variances that we're asking for is the 5-foot over dig just at the corner of this slab here. We're trying to keep it as far, while still being able to make it buildable. Being able to construct it. What we're doing is we're shifting everything as far away. We can get it to 100 feet from the air, from the wetland. So, because this is a wetland tributary to our surface water supply.
And it's a 2-bedroom.
That's
You're not
correct.
changing the flow.
That's
It's an
correct.
undersized lot.
That's
It's
correct.
non-conforming.
That is correct.
They say all existing deep wells, we have confirmed they're deep, that none of these are points.
That's correct. These are, from what I can tell, they're all deep wells.
So there's a well casing sticking up.
There's a
Not
well case. This one here is not a well casing sticking up, but it's a concrete cover below grade, and it's definitely a deep well.
This gentleman Donovan said that his was 85 feet deep. Over the phone, I'd have to look in the files.
Okay, so that's really not that.
That's what he
Deeper
said
than a
over the
point,
phone,
but
yeah.
they just they hit water quick.
What's the size of the field? I mean,
As far as the dimensions go?
yeah, how big is it?
It's pretty, I mean, it's, without the overdig, it's 17 by 52.
Now the cost between advanced and the size of this thing, how big? How much? we think?
So with these chambers, you get basically a 40% reduction from the conventional Title V system. So if you were to take 1,000 square foot system with the chambers, you would technically get 600 square feet. You would be 600 square feet. With advanced treatment, you get a 50% reduction. So we'd only get about a 10% reduction. It wouldn't, and I actually looked at that. It won't get us enough to be able to get it away from all the wells. I mean, as you can see, there's no room to get it away from all the wells. It's just not going to happen.
But is it more treatment, like a media area?
There's definitely, I mean, with advanced treatment, there's more treatment. There is. I mean, there's no question about it.
Most people go with a Presby probably is the first choice, just because it's the most cost-effective treatment.
So, I mean, it's not really a treatment. Presby's not really
No.
a treatment. It's
I
not.
guess it's not. But
The other one is advanced treatment, I mean, the advanced present.
It still doesn't remove nitrogen or nitrates. It doesn't. And that's the purpose of it. So, it
That's true, yeah, you want something to remove nitrogen.
exactly, and that does not do that. The only way you're going to remove nitrates and nitrogen is by advanced treatment, by doing like a microfast or an advanced text unit or BioClear, that type of unit. That's the only way you're going to do it. And again, the only reason why I didn't provide it, I knew about the 3 well. I read the regulation, and it's very specific about the 3 abutting wells. And that's why we didn't do it. We spoke to my client, let him know the issue. He said, please go in and ask and see what they want to do. So that's why I'm before you now.
Okay, I guess,
The surface water supply too. You know,
but we're quite a ways away from the
I know, we're
actual
quite a
pond,
ways.
right?
Yeah,
Just you're close to this tributary.
we're close to the wetland, which we're right at the 100-foot mark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you don't need a variance to that.
That's
That's why
correct.
you're trying to keep,
that's correct.
and you gotta stay away from that well anyway, so it doesn't.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing is if I go within it, it doesn't help me because it just pushes me. It'll get me a little further away from my well, the locust well, maybe a little bit further away from the Wolin property, but it'll put it closer to the Donovan property.
And do you know what's out there now? Is it just a cesspool, any idea?
It's a tank to a leaching pit. To actually a leaching pit with another overflow leaching pit. So it's all within this area, right?
So
Within
it's
the
in the proposed
area.
area of the new one?
That's
So
correct.
That'll be removed.
That's correct.
Okay. I guess the only other thing we'll just,
Well, we have the letter,
yeah.
and I had something later on, just about the nitrates.
We had the neighbor from 5, Janine, I believe it is,
Yeah.
Matthew Donovan. He was unable to make it tonight. He did call. I'll just read, I guess, the first part of it. As an abutter, I'm writing in response to the letter I received from Zenith Engineers regarding requests for variances and reductions in required setbacks as they proposed a new septic system on 7 Janine Street. I'm against any and all reductions in the established setbacks of a proposed leaching field as to pertain to Title V. Private water supply. The local property and anything that would encroach at the time in the future of the wetlands and Long Pond. I feel any reduction in the required setback between the proposed leaching field and existing wells is unhealthy for my family and will eventually lead to contamination in our water supply with fecal matter. It says I'm also not in agreement with allowing any variances to 310 CMR 15 Title 5 in regards to reduction of minimum of 5 feet beyond the outer perimeter as the SA system to 2 feet, which really, this is what that variance
Yeah.
is.
That's correct. And a little bit at the tank.
I am concerned eventually these sought variances will change the required setbacks and will do harm to my family and negatively affect my property. They've lived there since 1960. We are in no way interested in making this beautiful or anything less safe for generations who reside here. So that is 5. So his well is 85 feet. His is the furthest.
That's correct.
So just, I guess to some of his questions, it's impossible to conform to 310 CMR 15 with the new Title V. It's absolutely impossible because it's a undersized, pre-existing non-conforming lot. So you just can't conform to all the new setbacks. I believe the one that's most critical to him was his well. So he's at 85 feet. The one from 5 feet to 2 feet, it doesn't even affect him. It's just affecting the overdig at one corner of the existing shed, which has no effect on the system, in my opinion.
And by doing that, it actually pulls it further away from his well.
From his well.
Yes.
It's a giant system for a 2-bedroom house.
It is. There's no question about it.
And then I think, Kevin, you had,
Yeah, I just, not to add too much to it, but when I looked at this file, what we do is to see if they submitted a water test or not. They hadn't done a Title V. So the affected abutter was, their water was never tested. If they would have done a normal Title V.
it would affect,
Yeah, both of them, right? So it was just, yeah, one and the other one. And then when I did look at the previous water tests, they tested high for nitrates, and then they had put in some kind of RO system. And then I was looking just in that particular area, and quite a few all have high nitrates. So there's a question of something's going on there. I don't know if it's the bog, over fertilizing, septic, but there is some elevated nitrate nitrogen, and just wanted to bring that, because they're actually going to have to show us when they put their system in a clean test, but
So none of these wells had a test yet?
because they didn't do a Title V, this one, if they would have done a Title V, they would have required to test theirs
in this one,
and this one,
plus the room.
plus their own, but they bypassed that. So to be consistent, I think they should at least have them done, or they can sign their own waiver. But at least we'll get a baseline of seeing something's going on. I know this person has an RO system. In 2015,
Five
they,
does, or?
The
7.
applicant?
Yeah, the applicant has one. In 2015, 14, they tested their well. They did a Title V, and it came back 10.2, which is over the limit. And then right after, a month later, they submitted a new report that said not detected. When our previous agent said, you have to come up with an explanation. What did you do? They had tested just the spigot, and come to find out when he did some research, they had only put in an RO system back then.
Under
That
the
was
same.
allowed, yeah. Now we don't allow that, but all of them. This one had, I told him on the phone, Mr. Donovan, 4.03. Correct me if but it's around 4. At the time he put it in as well in 1999. All of them around there. There's a lot of nitrogen, slightly elevated in that whole area. And I'm thinking it could be fertilizer. I know there's the bogs there.
Bogs, right.
Something's going on. So we're gonna have to. I'd like to see a baseline of, or at least make the attempt to say, you could have your well tested, or you could sign a waiver.
And has this well been retested since 2015?
No, they're gonna have to do that as part of the.
Is
We
this
have-
one, is this one of the streets getting water?
No,
No,
this
this
is
is
down there.
This is off of 140. under the
Oh.
pass,
Looks
the
like
next-
Denise.
Oh, yeah,
Right
never
past the
mind.
bog.
Yeah.
Goes up, there's two little streets. and
Churchill?
Yeah.
It's actually
across
past
from
the other
Churchill,
side of
right?
Churchill.
Oh,
It's the next street.
On the other side of the bog.
Oh, here you go, Bob.
Yeah, the other side of the bog.
So here's the bog here.
Yeah.
You can see here's Churchill, we're here.
Goes up one street, and there's what, just two streets?
That's correct. There's Denise and
Denise
Janine.
and that's it.
Yeah. So you got Denise runs up and then Janine runs around.
How, the neighbors, how current are their septics, do we know?
This one's not current at all. I don't believe either one of them are current at all, to be honest with you.
So, I mean, at some point, they're gonna go through the same process.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this one, because you're gonna have the well, and you have the well in the back, which is great. You know, normally you'd stuff the system in the front, but he's gonna also have, I mean, he might have enough room to put it over here. I don't know where his house is and what's going on over here. He might end up having to go too close to ours. I don't know. That might end up being the case. You know, I don't have it, I wish I
You're
could
gonna
say.
have another circle, this is right outside it, you're gonna have another circle.
There's gonna be one right here, absolutely.
Well, I just say, because, so if at some point he watches this, you know, he's gonna have hardships at some point too, not just, he's not, you know,
He's not the only one.
this current one we're looking at isn't the only one out there, you know?
Well, anyone watching, if they don't understand, if everybody could comply to Title V, they wouldn't need a Board of Health to get variances. So these are pre-existing non-conforming lots, and it's our job to make it the least impact on, and have the best system with the least impact that we possibly can. And we can give waivers down to 50 feet, this one's 85 feet. You know, there's no option of them having a compliant Title V septic system here. So short of condemning the house, and we could condemn half the houses in Lakeville, and the town would be broke buying them all. That's why we're here. We're here to give the variances, make sure we don't give any that are not absolutely necessary, as they are in this case, in my opinion anyway. We haven't voted yet, but this is what we do every meeting. If everybody could meet Title V, they wouldn't have to have meetings every 2 weeks to try to figure this stuff out with people, so. Anybody watches that thinks, you know, we give out variances at every meeting, we do, because if we didn't have to, we wouldn't be here. So that's about it.
And there's, on his just, well, there's really no way,
No.
even if you took off one chamber and tried to go one more wide, you're gonna be closer to the 100, but you're not gonna really gain anything, are we?
Yeah, I would
No.
Because you're coming on a radius, so
Yeah.
you're almost gonna come into that chamber you're adding.
That's correct.
You're not even gonna change it by a foot.
No. And it'll just add way more chambers, because if I take this out, I gotta add, so I'm gonna take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what, 6 there, but I'm gonna add 12. So 13, you know what I mean, so it's gonna, and it's gonna put it within the 100 foot to the BW.
Yeah.
It's a tight one, there's no question, just so everybody understands, that's listening, if it wasn't for the perk rate that was out
Yeah.
there, this system would be less than half the size.
Yeah, the soil was just junk and the perk rate was,
You designed on 60, right?
That's correct.
The highest perk rate.
Which is a loading rate of 0.15. If it's a less than 2, it's 0.74. So it's literally like over 4 times the size.
Of a normal
That's correct.
system.
Your field usually isn't bigger than your house.
This is.
3 times.
That's correct. So
but it's treatment now. Before the other one was in failure,
in the water table.
in the water table, so now it's treatment and it's spread out. So,
And one thing I didn't bring up, not that it really matters too much, but to you, but we did file with conservation, and we're going in front of them next Tuesday for an RDA. So I suspect they're going to give us approval because it's all work within the existing backyard. But just so you know, that is something that we do have to get still.
I have a ruler.
Yeah. Now, what are the chambers? 3 feet? 3
They're
feet?
they're 3 feet,
Is it?
20 scale.
20 scale. Alright, so see if we had one chamber. Maybe switching on to that side. 40. Maybe to that. Can you see
40, about 47, 46,
Small scale.
but it would be 80, so
Yeah,
46.
there's a 20 on there.
So that's a 20.
But you just double it, so it'd just be the 80,
Nine.
yeah, it'd be like 88.
Oh, there's a
Yeah.
20 right there. Oh,
You get into 90s.
90.
Going over, he's at the 85.
Correct.
So, I mean, the only other option I can see, if we're being this critical on it, you take the 12, 2 rows of 6 chambers, and you put them back, but you're gonna be short 2 chambers. How close are you to your square footage? If you just added 10 chambers, 1 more row this way,
calculator.
take 2 rows off that way, mean, it's the only thing I can possibly
Actually,
see to,
221 gallons a day compared to 220. I'm literally right at it. I wouldn't, we literally wouldn't
that
have
two
enough.
chambers, you wouldn't
I
have.
wouldn't have enough.
1 gallon over.
I'm literally pinned.
That's to gain that extra 5 feet.
Yeah, and then get within 100.
And that's the other thing, you're getting within 100 of the, I know you don't care so much about that, the wells.
Right,
are
I'm not
important.
concerned, especially with, that they're asking us to try not to. I mean, I'd be less concerned of 3 feet, I mean, we're talking the chamber, so. But, like you said, we don't, not gonna meet our gallonage.
Correct.
And you can't come any closer this way.
No, no, you're already way too close to that one. You're really close to your own too.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
Anybody else can come up any other offers? I don't see
I
anything.
mean, go inside the 100, turn it,
I spent a while,
go to the 50, right?
But I
It doesn't
thought
get
of
that
that,
much
but you
better.
get closer.
Does it
This-
get closer, even
this
if
well,
you,
yeah,
even
I
if you
did that.
pocket between?
Yeah, it actually gets closer, the more you come out this way, you're coming dead into it.
Alright.
yeah, you'd have
Because
to,
it's
you'd
a
have to
triangle.
come out over here, there's your
Oh,
100, the
yeah.
yellow line, so you'd have to come out, way out to here somehow.
You're in
And now
there.
you're right next to this guy's.
and you're within within 25 feet of the wetland, so
Yeah.
I did look at maybe spinning this, like this.
Right.
But the problem is I'm within 50 feet of the wetland, which I can't even do that with a regular wetland, never
Yeah.
mind a
Yeah.
tributary.
Plus you're going down an embankment.
Well, that's the thing, now the
You know,
disturbance is gonna be
You're down at
ridiculous.
60,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
up at 67, 68 here. I mean, you can't run a system down the embankment.
No, it's that, no, we always try to run parallel with the contour, I mean, if we can.
You
I
can
know
with
it's
a
not
trans-
always,
I've
but,
seen you.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of them. but you-
No,
can't-
there's
and you
nothing,
can't
this
drop it
is,
in the
this is
front.
the best solution.
The well's there.
Yeah.
No,
It's the perk
and then
rate.
now you get this well right here. So you push it up front and now that guy, you're gonna be in his circle of 100.
Like you said, by this system, you're actually helping everything. You're getting it out of the water table.
yes.
Your
There's
two
no question.
pits failed in the water
Oh,
table.
there's no question.
And now we're about 4 feet. Actually, you're going, what, 6 feet? Almost 7 feet above the water table, 6.85.
Correct.
And the system's so big, it won't fit. Even if we move the well out back, it's not gonna fit in the front yard.
No,
So that's not even
well
a,
now you're starting to hit this one anyway.
I mean, unless you maybe got a better perk, but I have done stuff on Denise, which is right over here, and it was sand. But again, that, chances are, it's not gonna change that much from here to here.
and that was the only variance to this abutter on 5?
That's
Was the well.
That's
Two
correct.
of us, his two, right?
Right, but
But
one
to
we
the
have
one that
back
had
on that
concern.
has concerns. And we've had no response from the other abutter, and no one is here, I see.
And we actually notified all direct abutters, all abutters within 100 actually, because of the variances. Not just the affected abutters, but
We did all,
Bedford, Taunton, the 2 affected abutters, and across the street because of the variances to DEP's Title V. That's why we have to notify all abutters within 100. So,
okay.
You guys got anything else?
Like I said, I would probably be with Kevin maybe, I mean, at best, maybe we could just check everybody's well. Definitely, this well has to be retested anyway.
Definitely. But if they would have done the Title
We
V,
should offer to test all the wells
And
because,
they might refuse, cause they might not wanna
yeah,
test it.
they don't have to, but
At
we
least
should offer just like you would have with a
offer-
Title V.
And then,
No, Kevin's right on that. If they'd done a Title V to show that it failed, they would have had to test the well, so the people should at least get the option to have it done or not.
You've been in contact with the agent of the
Yes.
property, you said? Yeah. Okay. So I'm assuming if there's, I'm assuming if we can make
and
this,
he had said, he was already under the impression that it had to be done, according to my notes. Yes, I wrote here, speaking to the seller's agent, he had stated there is a treatment system for nitrate nitrogen and that he was under the same impression that abutting wells needed to be tested. He already had that in his idea when we were talking, in his head, when I was talking to him. And he asked me what to test for, if that was the case. So I told him.
and
You wanna, no, I don't have anything more.
I don't see anything else we can do.
No,
It's
that's
the
it.
best possible thing for the perk rate and the lot size.
No, and 85's not that close. We get out to 50 all the time. 85's not that close.
especially being an existing deep well.
Yeah.
We go down to 55 on shallow wells. We just had that last meeting, I think we went to 3 of them.
Just do it contingent on the tests or the well tests or.
Yeah, just make it contingent upon the well test.
Alright, make a motion to approve the subsurface sewage disposal system repair at 7 Janine Street with 8 local upgrade variances and 1 variance to Title V, contingent upon the offer of well tests to the abutters and our own,
And then requiring one on their own
and
property.
requiring the well test on our own property.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Guys, have a good night.
Thank you, Tom.
And then here's 6 Cherry Street, Kevin.
No one's here.
Next on the agenda, 6, Kevin, 6 Cherry Street. Discuss housing code.
Yeah, so I've been, I've had, a original complaint I had was someone residing in a mobile camper. I'd gone out there, the individual told me that he was going to not be there anymore. After another complaint, went out there, verified he was there, electrical cord being run. The individual was notified to, he can't be doing this, it's a violation, and emergency order to cease and desist. The procedure is bring this to a Board of Health before the board, or to have a order to vacate. So I can actually send them the correspondence and then placard the unit himself, itself. So this way, if he does return, we can use the police if we had to escort him out of the unit.
Okay, and I believe when I was, this is not even the owner, this is just
Oh,
somebody
no, this is, yeah, so this, what happened
living
was,
on somebody else's property?
yeah, the individual had, the owner had let these, park the camper there. They're not too pleased as well, they wouldn't mind him, the individual leaving. And what happened was he parked the unit there, but I guess he fell on hard times and he decided to live there for a little while. He's assured me that the unit will be gone, hopefully within this month. That's for him to take care of, as well as the owner on record. My main thing is I just don't want nobody living in there. So they wanted to keep that thing forever, as long as nobody lived in there, that's fine. As with the board's approval, if the board votes that way.
Just for clarification, this comes to us? I thought Larry used to take care of these on his own.
Yeah, what
Do
happens
we
is.
have a reg that says we have to do this?
No, but the way the procedure is, if I came across a house that had no water, no heat, whatever it is, and it's unfit for human habitation, since everybody has a right to a hearing and due process, if I find it at that time unfit for human habitation, I can order an emergency order saying, you must vacate, but then I have to give them a hearing, or like right now, they have a right to come before the board and say,
So that's why you
I don't
posted.
believe.
This has been posted and.
Yeah, so I notified them in a letter saying, our next meeting is such and such.
Right, cause I know he condemned a letter and we didn't hear about it he condemned a house and we didn't hear about it for months.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys were on yet, but Gabby was on.
No,
And they
this
said
would
that
be
we
the
didn't have to
first.
get involved, that was totally under their authority, so I'm just clearing it
Yeah,
up.
you
to
can,
find
you
out.
can definitely order to vacate, but to placard it and say, so when you post the house and say, condemned, vacated.
No, Larry and Bob Iafrades and somebody else.
Yeah, well,
condemned
we
the
have,
house.
we're in that housing court, and I'm
Yeah.
dealing with another one from Copeland and Page.
Yeah, and we didn't
we're-
find out
we're
for months,
follow-
I didn't
yeah.
know nothing about it.
We're following
We
the
never
procedure.
voted, we didn't do anything.
That
We
they
just-
need to be notified and.
Yeah, because what happens is, even on the letters that we write to them, it says on the bottom, should you be aggrieved by this order, you have 7 days to appeal. And that gives them enough time. So we notify them in that letter saying, you have the 7 days to appeal, and then we give them a date in case they wanted to appeal, there's there. So if they wanted to come to the board and say, you know what, I don't believe, something's not, whatever it is, I don't agree,
Yeah.
we can hash it all out. But then this way, I present the facts to the board and to make the determination.
Yeah, but this isn't even, this was never a legal house, this was never supposed
No,
to be
no,
occupied.
No,
Yeah,
it's
so this
just a-
isn't
it's a
like we're
trailer.
throwing somebody out of their house, somebody parked the trailer and started living in it.
Right, it has
I
no
don't-
water
yeah, I-
connected, has no
I
sewer,
don't,
no, an
if
extension
they're
cord
breaking the
runs
law,
from
I don't
the-
even know why they need a hearing though. I'm just for the future, I just wanna clarify it, I'm not saying right or wrong, but I
Yeah.
don't see why, you know, if the police see somebody speeding, they don't have to call Frank and give him a hearing, they.
I already vacated it.
Yeah.
It's more just procedure wise. Because if I just did this one with the other one on Kerry Street, I'm just gonna follow the procedure. I did it, emergency order, I said, you have to go. I already told you once, you have to go. And, I wrote up an order. And I said, so it's just more if we go to court and the individual's there again, you say to the judge, I don't know what else I can say, you know, and I just went back and forth with this individual. It was even on a Board of Health meeting saying, it's placarded, it's not to be resided in at all. I understand what you're saying, cause it's a camper, it's a little different.
Yeah, it
but-
was there illegally in the
Yeah.
first place, so it's like.
But the camper, I think technically can stay, they just can't live in it, he can't.
Yeah.
live In the camper.
Cause we do have some people that request to live in there temporarily, that's a
If they
different
get
case,
temporary-
that's totally different.
That goes to the selectmen.
Yeah.
They need a permit from the selectmen
Yeah,
before
you
they can
need a
even ask
permit,
us.
so that's time, you'd
Yeah,
have
so
to
they-
have a septic.
Somebody just, the owner wants them gone, they're just squatting illegally, like, you know, I just, whatever. don't
Yeah,
know.
I understand what you're saying, I just,
Yeah.
cause I've been following this procedure from what we did at the housing court classes, and what the Copeland page has told us to continue, I might as well just,
Yeah,
follow
I
the
don't-
procedure.
I don't mind knowing, so then, like, when out and about around town, somebody goes, hey, and
Oh, no,
I go,
but
I
that's
don't
why
know.
though, it's just, that's why I'm bringing it up, because a house got condemned, and I got told by the same attorney company that it was in the agent's ability to do it, that we didn't have to be notified, cause I was mad, at that time, I was mad that we didn't get notified, that a house got condemned and I didn't know about it, and I was on the Board of Health. And now we're getting told we are the ones who have to do it by the same lawyer. So I mean, I think somebody should clarify it, and at least let us know what the hell.
Well, I guess maybe on that, they used that same, should you be agreed by the order, and they didn't respond back. But to physically get them out, because what happens is, on that, and the reason I used that procedure, and I checked with Copeland Page, is if, in case you have to use police, because you can go back again to court and say, Your Honor, I've asked him to leave and he hasn't left. It says in the order, I forget the number, but it says in the code, we have the authority to remove somebody using the police. So if I went there and it was already placarded through the Board of Health, and we say, you cannot stay here, and the police can say, you have to leave. Then you can still, in the same time, wait for your date in court, but you have that authority. Without going this whole procedure, you'd have to just go back to court, say, Your Honor, can you get them out, instead of using the police to say, you have to leave. So you understand, that's the difference, I think.
Well, no, I know what you're saying, but I was mad then that I didn't get notified, and now I'm getting told I'm the one who has to do it, and it isn't making any sense to me. It wasn't that long ago, so, cause what if we went back to meeting once a month if things slow down? Somebody's sitting there for a month and you couldn't do anything about it until we all came to have a hearing?
No.
That's how it was explained to me. Of course, the agent's the one who has the right to do it, because, you know, what if you guys don't meet for 2 weeks or a month? What, you know, you're gonna let them sit in the house for a month. So that was their reasoning why we didn't have to okay it, that the health agent could do it. Now we're being told the health agent can't do it, we have to do it. So, by the same law firm, Copeland and Page, I've been told two different things in a few years. I just would like to have it clarified, because when I thought the agent at the time was wrong, and I was trying to deal with it, I was told he wasn't wrong, he had the authority. And now I'm finding out that maybe he didn't really have the authority. So that's why I'm just frustrated. I just wanna know.
Well,
You know.
I just from an email I got today, and I can forward it to you,
Yeah.
that's the procedure. This one right here, if you wanna use that 850, I think it is, using the police to remove and to placard it to, they have to be notified of the violation before you placard it. They have to, you know, and it has to be at a meeting. That's the procedure there.
Alright.
So you have not placarded this yet, until after this meeting?
No, but they've been given a cease and desist, but I'm gonna go back after your vote and just post it, just as a final, end to this hopefully.
No, I'll vote to do it, subject, we're not setting precedent, and I would like to see that email, because I'm gonna find my old emails, and I'm gonna ask them what's going on. Cause I wanted to be the one who was responsible to do it a few years ago, and I was told I wasn't, so I couldn't take any action against the agent at the time. Now I'm being told I have to do it, so I mean, I'm feeling like either they screwed me a few years ago, or they're making us do it now. I just wanna clarify one way or another, in writing, and I'm gonna say, whoever sent you the email, say, well, this is what we were told 4 years ago, whenever it was, and, you know, you argued with me that I didn't have the ability to get involved, that was purely an agent's decision. I just wanna know.
Okay, so that was before me.
Yeah, no.
second board, and
Yeah,
before
definitely
Chris.
before me.
No, the former agent condemned a house without telling anybody. Building inspector talked him into condemning a house, and they went and condemned it because he wanted them gone. And they said the health agent was the only person in the town hall that had the ability to condemn a house. That's why they were nice to him that week. But, you know, now, and so I got mad that he did it without coming to us and getting it approved by anybody. And I was told that it was his authority, that we had no authority to get involved in that.
As the board.
So now I'm being told as the board, I'm supposed to be the one who does it, so,
And we have a new agent, just for
yeah.
anybody.
Yeah, it wasn't Kevin.
So,
So, and we had a new inspector and new people in the building, but I mean, that was aggravating for me. So, cause
Has been changed.
I
the
didn't
code
want people getting, I didn't want houses getting condemned without me knowing about it.
since then.
And I was told I had,
Well,
yeah, well,
not
That
that I
how's
do
it
it.
go? Like how current is like what was the last revision to it?
I'd have to look, but it's been pretty current.
All right. Because that was going back probably 5-6 years now.
Yeah.
So maybe it changed.
so we wanna make a motion on this one to, give Kevin the authority to placard 6 Church Street, that they're not to be living there? Is that what the motion is we're discussing?
So moved.
I'll
didn't-
second it.
So we just said yes.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry.
I'll make a motion, we appoint Jared Dowling, and Assistant Animal of I'll make a motion, we appoint Jared Dowling and Assistant Inspector of Animals?
Yeah, we have an assistant, as well.
It's
Inspector of
two
Animals,
separate.
Jared.
Yeah, I don't think it,
Yeah, then it says her name, yeah.
No, but Jared Dowling's not gonna be in the inspector,
No,
and
it says
assistant, right?
before his name. It says.
It says
Nomination of
you
Nomination
will
Inspector of
find the
Animals.
nomination of Inspector of Animals
Jared.
from Jared Dowling and Assistant Inspector of Animals.
Yeah, well, she forgot to put her name, because on the thing it says here, and assistant inspector of animals, Lisa Podolsky.
And so
She
I'll
forgot to
make
put
a
her name.
motion that we appoint Jared Dowling, the Inspector of Animals, and Lisa
Podolsky.
Podolsky, the Assistant Inspector of Animals, from May 1st, 2019 through April 30th, 2020.
Second.
any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next on the agenda, emergency preparedness. Review, discuss proposed student bus company transportation.
Do you have the MOU there? Oh, they should put it in my packet.
Yes.
Yeah, so, as our emergency preparedness, we meet every year, and one of the things we've been working on is having an MOU, a memorandum of understanding with the bus company. It's First Student Bus Company, and this has been drafted. I already spoke to the individual at First Student Bus Company. They have no objections to it, but they wanted to see the MOU itself. The only thing that held us up a little bit was we wanted to find out who actually was going to sign. From discussion with Denny, our planner, it was felt that the town administrator is probably the best one to sign this MOU. The only reason is in case there was money that came back to us from the
State, or the
yeah. So if
government,
this, so if it was a declaration from the state or feds that said you have to do this, and they gave us money back, she'd be probably the best person to work those budget concerns out. So they've said it's probably better the town administrator signs this. So Rita has already signed it. I have it put away so it doesn't get lost. And with the board's approval, I'll send it off to First Student, bus company. And hopefully they sign it, we put it into our records, and I'll make sure the fire chief knows it's part of our plan moving forward.
Did they clarify how many buses? Do we have to get that involved yet, or they just said they will
We
supply
could-
buses?
Yeah, they said we could
They
supply
left
buses.
it general in case, we'll see
Cause this
how
is
many we
always,
need.
this is always like,
Yeah,
in case of an emergency, but nobody knows, you know?
yeah, you might need 2, you might need 10. Okay.
Do we need a motion or anything, or can you just send it to the lady?
Yeah, I could just send it, yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Just, yours if not?
All right, so that's it for new business and old business. Review and approve Board of Health meeting minutes from February 20th, 2019 as typed.
I wasn't here.
That's just me, yep.
Then it says I raised a concern. How did I raise a concern if I wasn't here?
That was just on the food establishment one, when we were discussing,
Did I get that in time?
no. No, we just stated that you'd raised
Oh, he said I
concerns.
raised one of, I just saw my name.
Yes,
I didn't read him because it wasn't here, and I just saw my name halfway through.
about the drive-through,
Yeah,
the establishments and the trash, the litter.
yeah.
So we talked about you, basically.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine, you can talk about me all you want. I get thick skin.
I didn't see any others.
I didn't see anything either. Make a motion to approve the Board of Health meeting minutes dated February 20th, 2019 as typed.
Second, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstain.
Next, review and approve Board of Health meeting minutes from March 6th, 2019 as typed. And I read through this one, I didn't see anything.
Make a motion, we approve the Board of Health minutes from 3/6/19 as typed.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's it, that's under that one. Kevin, do you wanna do the correspondence? Plymouth County Mosquito Control Project
Yeah,
memorandum?
I can read it. It was in the newspaper as well. It was in the, I guess this is, the Patriot Ledger. It was on, in the paper on February 16, 2019. Notice of aerial application and pesticides by the Plymouth County Mosquito Control Project during 2019 between the hours of 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. as conditions permit. Applications will be made in the towns of Abington, Bridgewater, Brockton, Carver.
Lakeville.
Yeah, Lakeville, all those other towns, Lakeville, sorry,
Yeah.
good point.
There's about 30 towns on
Yeah.
that list.
In order to reduce the number of mosquito larvae, the insecticides to be used will be one or more of the following: Vectorbac 12AS or Vectorbac G, Vectorbac G again, Vectorbac WDG, and Vectolex WDG. Only mosquito breeding sites will be treated and no spraying will be done over residents. For further information, contact Stephen Gillette at 781-585-5450.
Anybody watching, we get this every year, it's just Plymouth County telling us they're gonna spray if they find it necessary for mosquitoes. If you keep an eye on our website, we will post when they start finding things, if they have any information, and we also will be posting the number you need. If you start to have a lot in your yard, that there'll be a number you can call and they'll come out and spray your yard and area for, at no charge to the residents of Lakeville. So this is just letting you know that they notified us that if they need to go out and spray, they're gonna spray, and no one's gonna knock on your door first.
Okay, that's it. That, announcements. I don't see any announcements, anything else?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.